Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. All right. So yeah, that's good for that. Let's do some tweets and hope that we can get another. God damn it! Did I close my? No, I didn't. Okay, I hope we can get another $166 while we're doing the tweets.
In an ideal world.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. So, Darwin to Jesus says, this one is for the atheists. If God exists and says the Earth is 6,000 years old and scientists say it's 4.5 billion, who should we listen to, God or scientists?
Well, let's go ahead and start with the problem. Which one of them can prove they aren't lying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume God exists, just for fun.
So basically what you're saying is who has evidence backing up their position?
Basically, yeah.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe one of them actually has evidence. If we're just going, one of them claims one thing, and that's it.
I don't see it in the chat. Which chat? I missed a membership chat? Olivia Williams. I'm sorry, Olivia. Where is it? Ah. I'm scrolling. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there we go.
Everyone
press like. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I ground the stream to a halt for a like, damn it. You better press it to make it worth it. Also donate to charity. Yeah, so yeah, basically whoever has evidence backing up their position is who I would like to go with for this one.
And generally speaking, that's not the God part. We don't even have evidence that he's actually around.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, you had to get to a hypothetical scenario in order to get to the point where God was even a consideration. So what does that tell you about the evidence if you have to resort to hypotheticals in order to actually arrive at God, even in this sort of weak-ass scenario?
Let's assume God exists for just a minute. Okay, so we weren't...
Agamotto
we have to
13
assume that?
cheered 3 bits to say, I'm on Twitch, no like to press. Yeah, so I guess if you're on Twitch, send me 3 bits, which I think is literal pennies. So, I should probably put a minimum, but I think it's just hilarious that people can just send me so little.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Okay, so Toby Dew followed this up with, if God exists and is omniscient and does not lie, then I would believe God. However, I would still be a little skeptical that what it is telling me is the info is in fact God. I would still be a little skeptical that what is telling me the info is in fact God. How could I tell the difference between God telling me and a demon telling me?
How do you know the scientists aren't controlled by demons?
Yeah, that's the rational response there.
I feel like there is a person who I will not name, but is a friend of mine and is a content creator who I have had discussions about this kind of stuff with, and I'm not even going to lie. When the conversation of the evidence we have for the age of the Earth came up, he literally said, well, couldn't an all-powerful God just make it look like the Earth has been around that long? For what fucking purpose? How many assumptions do we have to make about this motherfucker?
Yeah, so we are now $151 away from you having to give us an uwu. And let's see if there's a comment with that last one.
Paige says, to test our faith. Why do you have to create a series of lies to test our faith? What is the purpose of that? What is the benefit of that? Moreover, actually, just out of curiosity, if you've ever had a friend who spends time in their day testing your friendship, how long do you expect that friendship to actually last? Because usually that's the thing an abusive narcissist does. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between God and abusive relationships, funnily enough.
Anyway,
So
I'm gonna be a responsible adult, and instead of trying to order pizza, I'm gonna go put a lasagna in the oven.
okay. I mean, that's kind of the same thing.
I mean, they're
It's
very
just
similar. It's
it's
just the
just
amount of money I need to spend.
true.
Like,
They're just like composed slightly differently.
like there's
Different.
a
The starch is in a different order.
yeah, there's a difference between me putting a lasagna in or somebody on chat going, no, no, we for some reason
Okay.
want you to have the pizza.
Go
So,
put your lasagna in. I will just point out that nobody has ever ordered me that burger that I managed to set up on that treat stream thing. And that's probably for the
guys,
best
order
because
Rhino
it's
food.
a really gross burger. And if it shows up, my partner's just going to be kind of pissed that I got food and she didn't. Like, not actually pissed, just kind of like a, oh. But anyway, Michael D donated $200 saying, I missed the comment part with 111, so here's enough to put you into the onesie. So thanks for that, I guess. And then someone else donated $15 anonymously, which leaves us, we are now $151 away from Cirrus having to give us an uwu. Yeah. And we've got 12 days left to get another $4,000. So if somebody just wants to be like an angel donor and donate $4,000 right now, that would be amazing. Heidi says we need pizza, not a burger. I know, but it's a thing that I have to set up and I have to say which foods I'm willing to get. And the only one I bothered to do was the stupid bacon burger. So there's no pizza available. And I'd have to like remember what website it even was in order to set that up now, which I don't. Plus, Cirrus is doing stuff off stream right now.
Well,
Van Brigg says, shave and a haircut, 2 bits. You get it? I get it. Thank you, Van Briggs. I appreciate your dad humor. Whether you're a dad for real or not, you're an honorary dad. Oh. Okay. I'm looking at Treat Stream while we're waiting for Cirrus to come back, because that's the thing that I have, because maybe I can add a pizza really quick. Log in with Twitch. Is that how I did it before? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I did. That is how I did it. Okay, add new treats. Proceed. Don't show this again. No, I don't want to add it to Firefox. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why are you popping so many things up? Okay. Yeah, come on. I had to add treats. Okay, somebody did a hat, I think. Clueless Expert did a hats off to you. Okay, wizard hat. You're a wizard, Harry. No, I don't want to add you to Firefox. Fine, add to Firefox. Continue installation. Sure, fine.
hello.
If it makes me restart, I'm going to be mad. Ninjastray cheered 13 bits saying, Gary, and this is what bookmarks are for. Yeah, you should see how many bookmarks I have. Okay, I added you. So add new treats. Proceed. This is like the 3rd time I've proceeded. So we did another thing. Redeem to hydrate. I should drink a thing.
I am back and alive, and in 2 hours I will have lasagna.
Yeah, well, my partner was like, we need pizza, so I'm trying desperately to figure out how to add that to Treat Stream.
Oh, good luck with that one.
Do we actually have good pizza in Fort Erie? Do we actually have good pizza in Fort Erie? I don't know. I'm just hungry. Okay. I can't even. The barrel? That's a Fort Erie restaurant. Unable to determine the coordinates. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on with this thing, Cirrus.
I don't know. You wish Pizza
Why
Hut
did
was
an address
worldwide.
come up that is not my address?
Pizza.
Or a
Why would you
restaurant's address?
Why would you want Pizza Hut to be worldwide? That shit's awful.
I don't even know where that street is. Why is it doing that? Okay, I'm not going to even try to do this because I might accidentally send pizza to someone who doesn't want it.
Who doesn't want pizza?
I don't know. I would be very confused and upset if somebody showed up with pizza at my house. 3, tell Garfield uwu.
Did it sound
Why,
if somebody just
why are
showed
you
up
yelling?
with
Because my
pizza at my
partner's in the
house,
other room and I was talking to her, okay? I'm sorry.
if somebody just showed up to my house with pizza, then I would just hand them a magic deck and go, okay, cool, time for a fucking great ass time. Pizza and card games.
Okay.
Ignore the fact that my girlfriend's aiming a gun at you just in case anything bad happens.
Anyway, we were talking about how scientists are controlled by demons.
Yeah, we
My
were.
God, you guys are all like making me say things for like pennies. I take it back. VR and Cirrus are awesome, so please donate to the charity. Just my 2 cents worth. 2 bits.
Literally 2 cents worth.
Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah, donate to the charity. Cirrus will say an uwu in another, what are we at? $151. So somebody do that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, don't worry about Treat Stream. I don't even know how the fuck that works. I think it'll come to me if you order the thing, but it might not. There's a chance that it's going to go to someone on Oak Street, which I don't even know where it is. Donald J. Trump posted on his Truth Social. He says, no one can answer why we subsidize Canada to the tune of over $100 million a year.
Do we subsidize Canada? Is that even the right word for what we do?
I looked into it. So like there's 2 things that he could be talking about here. There's either foreign aid or the trade deficit. Trade deficit is $50 billion.
Okay.
So if he doubled it and then was off by an order of magnitude, that would be a thing that makes sense. But like a trade deficit isn't we're subsidizing them. It's we are buying shit from them and we want the shit. So we buy it. So like
yeah,
that's not a subsidy. That's an exchange of like
trade,
goods and service. So like I don't see why that would be that just means they buy a lot of our like you guys buy so much of our wood. You guys love Canadian wood. So it could be the trade of
penis.
But did you know Canada actually does receive foreign aid from the United States?
Doesn't surprise me.
And the obligations for foreign aid that were like passed by Congress for the latest year that we have complete data for is 2023. I forget exactly what the obligations were. It was somewhere around $4 billion. But like once everything was said and done, do you know how much money flowed between like from the United States to Canada in 2023?
I couldn't even begin to guess.
If you had to guess, just take a guess at a number of like how much money went from the United States to Canada in the category of foreign aid.
$200 million.
$200 million. That's your guess.
That's my guess.
I happen to have that number available right now, sir. So if you go to whatthefuckever.gov, I don't know, the website will show up. Foreignassistance.gov, the amount that went from the United States to Canada was negative 18.5 million almost.
Negative 18.5 million.
Which means that we actually sent you guys $18.5 million.
Oh.
When all was said and done, it was we sent you money. Now, to be fair, that's like payments on shit that you guys have paid us in the past. And so like we made our payments more than you paid us more shit in 2023. And so that's where that comes from. That like that's why it's negative. But like you guys,
a wild difference.
You buy shit from us and we repay our debts to you. So what the fuck is he even talking about?
He's lying. He's Donald Trump, so he's lying.
Hellbound Hillbilly says, now I want to see whatthefuckever.gov. This is foreignassistance.gov. I did not go to whatthefuckever.gov. I imagine that does not exist, and .gov has some pretty tight restrictions on it, so you can't just buy it. But whatthefuckever.com will probably take you to a fun time.
Wait until Elon Musk gets a hold of it, and then he'll make sure that you can definitely put whatever you want on a .gov website.
I'm literally going to whatthefuckever.com to see what's there. It's like 4 guys that look like they're divorced dads that are trying to pose for a punk album like 20 years ago, but they're too old for it now, with a big thing that says "Mess with Emily" on the front.
Mess with
Well, here,
Emily.
I can actually just show that. I did that. Oh, no, not that one. Here we go. Mess with Emily. You got divorced dads trying to be cool.
I don't know what I'm looking at,
I don't know what I'm looking at either.
but I think you described it as close as you could.
Mess with Emily is the perfect mix of both camaraderie and talent. 5 lead singers. I'm sorry if there's 5 of you. You ain't all lead singers. Strong following, versatile playlist, professional party band, events, corporate clubs, rock, pop, country. So this is whatthefuckever.com forwards to messwithemily.com. And I guess this is a band where it's 5 lead singers and no musicians. So, okay. That's, yeah, no, Jasper says, that's a fucking quintet. Yeah, when you have 5 lead singers, that's a quintet. That's what that is. But, like, am I wrong? Do they not look like divorced dads trying to look cool?
That's basically what I get out of this picture.
Anyway, back to our fucking tweets. Yeah, Canada pays their fucking debts, motherfucker. So we paid you guys $18.5 million in 2023. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with your $100 million a year. Makes no sense. Yeah, damn straight it makes no sense because you're just wrong.
That's not what happens.
Many Canadians want Canada to become a 51st state. Incorrect.
What?
There are a handful of like MAGA idiots up here in Canada, but the vast majority of us are like, no, fuck you, keep that shit to yourself. And he says they would save massively on taxes and military protection. I think it's a great idea. 51st state. So no thanks.
No,
Yeah,
that would literally require us going to take over Canada.
Just think if you turn Canada into the American system, I would save a tiny bit on my taxes. But the amount that I would then have to pay just in fucking healthcare premiums, not even including deductibles and copays and shit like that. It's like, nah, thanks. I'll take my $700 a year more in taxes. Because that's literally what I pay for healthcare is $700 a year. And that's not the premium, and then I still have to pay a deductible and a copay and all that bullshit. That's it. Prescriptions, yes, I do have to pay for prescriptions for adults. The kids' prescriptions are free. But my prescription is like $100 a month. My partner's prescriptions are like $300 or $400 because she's got diabetes. And we don't have coverage through employers because she's in school and I am self-employed. But yeah, that's still a lot less than just the premiums for a similarly sized household in the States.
Can we just not entertain anything Trump says, thinks, believes, breathes ever again?
Unfortunately, he's going to be in charge of the most powerful country on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, as fucked up as the States is, like, there is one thing that they are number one in, and that's military spending. So, like, yeah, he can call Trudeau governor all he wants because, like, in the dick waving contest, he'll win that one. But, like, he's still an embarrassment to you guys.
What would actually happen?
We all look at that and be like, yeah, no, there's not anything we can do about the fact that he does that. But, like, what a fucking idiot.
The real question is, what would happen if he tried? How many other nations would come in and just be like, all right, America, can you fight all of us at once? You'd burn down the White House again?
Yeah, we did it once. Rosina K donated $5 to make it even. No, she said make it even because it's $6,006 now. You know what? We need another $660. Someone donate $660 so we can get to 6666.
Oy, oy, oy. What do we have after Trump's dumb face?
We have case orbs. Who,
never mind. Can we go back to Trump?
In response to a fucking school shooting, says, shall not be infringed. Of course, he misses the part about well-regulated militia.
I like how the very first thing that somebody thinks after a fucking school shooting is, well, they better not take my guns.
Yeah, no, like, take the fucking guns. You know what the difference is between America and the rest of the world when they get a school shooting is that the rest of the world has one school shooting, they restrict the guns, then they don't have any more school shootings. America gets one school shooting, and then people say, shall not be infringed, and then they get more school shootings. Okay, Van Briggs for 91 bits says, this is all I have left, don't worry, VR. I get 91 bits is basically nothing, and I think $3 is the minimum you can give on Canada Helps, but like, if it comes down to a choice between giving me money and giving Project Share money, they need money more than I do. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm moving right now, I need money. I need all the money, but Project Share needs it more.
I have not seen that video page.
That video page?
No, my chat.
I don't know.
Somebody said, have you seen the JREG video on the femcell? And no, I haven't.
That sounds like words I don't want to understand.
I understand all those words, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm on stream with you. I'm going to explain all those words.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so JREG is a content creator. He tends to be apolitical-ish, but he also tends to be okay fighting for people's rights. He actually campaigned with me on the Jabal Moment campaign, so I've hung out with him personally.
If I could interrupt for a moment, Kevin Hitch says nothing can be done, says the only country where this routinely happens.
I know, right?
The latest school shooting, the way I learned that there was a school shooting was I saw The Onion post that headline again, and it was like, oh, it must have been another school shooting, and I was right.
I saw people bitching about trans people. That's how I figured out there was a school shooting.
I mean, that is a fairly new addition to the school shooting thing. It didn't used to just automatically be assumed to be a trans person.
But now the right assumes it's a trans person every fucking time.
There was one.
Yeah.
So now they all are.
Every person who assumes that it's a trans person first maybe should be involved in a school shooting.
I mean, it turns out that it was a neo-Nazi, but not still is a trans person.
Yep. Weird. As for the femcell thing, so you're familiar with what an incel is, right?
Yeah, femcell would be like the female version of that, I would assume.
It'd be the female version of an incel because we have this weird fetish in like all of media that male is the default. There's actually a really good video on this called, I think it's called like Why Bugs Bunny Wears Gloves, that goes over the fact that this has been our default thing for a while. I don't
know about that one, but I know Lindsay Ellis actually uses the Transformers movies to talk about the male gaze and how the male gaze is not just about like point the camera at the lady bottom because the lady bottom is sexy.
It's also actually about how the guy.
No, it's just also about how male is the default. So like, why are there no female Transformers in Michael Bay's movies? Well, turns out they planned on having one, but they ditched that one because they felt that they would have to explain the presence of a female Transformer, and they didn't want to get into all that backstory and trying to figure out how robots would have female or whatever. But having males is fine because male is the default.
Which is weird because we have female Transformers in Generation 1, and we have female Transformers in the anime and all the shows.
I mean, she shows up in the Michael Bay movies. She just dies within seconds.
Like, RC is one of the most popular Transformers of all time.
Yeah, and she was on screen for a couple of seconds in the Michael Bay movies, and then she died. And was never named. She was going to be a main character, but they changed it to be a male Transformer because the male is the default, so that doesn't raise any questions, but having a female, that raises questions. And so like that is the male gaze. It's not just what men want to look at. It is
the assumption
the
that
male
the
perspective of like male is the default because you are a male, so you just assume male sort of thing. It's a really interesting series because like she basically uses different film theories to examine Michael Bay's Transformers movies, just to say how these stupid movies that everybody, even the people who like them, agree are stupid movies. This is how we can apply different film theories to explaining them and examining them. And it's a really good series. I enjoyed it.
Lindsay Ellis does good work. I need to watch more of her work.
She does.
By the way, Transformers 1 was also a fun movie, which is also technically a Michael Bay production.
Sure,
but
I don't remember it. I did see it, but I don't remember anything from it. That's actually a point that she makes, is that part of his part of his approach to making movies is just like making the frame as busy as possible at all times. And so that actually makes things not memorable because your brain doesn't know what to focus on. And
I mean,
I find that to be true because like everything, like I know I have seen at least the first 3 Transformers movies, but I could not for the life of me tell you what happens in them.
I wasn't talking about the first Transformers movie. I was talking about the newest one, which is called Transformers One.
Oh,
which is
okay, fuck that.
Which is a fully CGI animated movie.
I don't fucking know.
That goes over how Optimus Prime became Optimus Prime and how Megatron became Megatron. It goes over their friendship back when they were like closer than brothers and shit.
Okay, I think we got some power. No, what fucking cartoon was that? Pokemon. We got some Pokemon fans donating. So someone donated $20 anonymously and said, "Prepare for trouble." And then there was another $20 that came that says, "And make it double."
Oh.
So I expect you to donate $20 for every line in that thing. So keep going. Keep it up. Come on. And we're at 6046. And we need to be at 6152 for the Surus Uwu. So we are 6046. I have no fucking idea what I did, but apparently we were $1,000 off. Fuck. History. 6152 is what we're aiming for. I had a spreadsheet when we were doing this with other people. Just so you know. Oh, come on, why does equals $106? We are $106 away. I probably should have been able to do that in my head, but we're $106 away from Surus giving an uwu.
Says Rhino.
Chalk it up to America. Fuck yeah! I haven't seen most of the movies. And that's in brackets, so I assume that's with reference to something else you said that I didn't read. But yeah, no, I have not seen most of the Transformers movies. I know that there's testicles on the pyramids at one point, but I mostly know that from Lindsay Ellis pointing it out. Like, when she pointed it out, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a thing that happened. But I do not remember anything that happened in any of those movies because they're just so bland. And when I say bland, it's like, it's not bland as in boring. It's bland as in like, there's so much going on all the time that I don't even know what to follow. So what the fuck is even happening? Anyway, all this came from Kevin Sorbo saying shall not be infringed in response to a school shooting, and forgetting the second part of that, which is well-regulated militia. So, yeah, if you see a bunch of kids being killed and your first thought is, we need to protect the guns,
then you're protecting the wrong thing.
You're fucked up. Like, shall not be infringed? Maybe that one should be infringed. Maybe the Second Amendment shouldn't be there. Like,
remember, we're America.
You know what
the land of gun care and health control.
Health control, yeah. Yeah, like, you know what the difference is between the one country in the world where school shootings regularly happen and the rest of the world? Is that the rest of the world does not have the Second Amendment. And so, like, yeah, they're willing to mobilize multiple police forces to avenge the death of a healthcare CEO, but a bunch of fucking children die. And it's like, no, we gotta keep our guns. Can't possibly do anything to protect the kids. Thoughts and prayers.
If you don't have the guns.
So, yeah. Fuck case orbs.
I'd rather him not have more chances to breed, actually.
I mean, not with you or me, he's not. Neither of us can get pregnant, and pretty sure he can't. Mike Winger. Moving on up.
Oh boy, the quiet bigot.
Is he quiet?
It's
Would we call him quiet?
So it's not that he's quiet, it's that he, unlike a Steven Anderson type, he couches his bigotry in sympathy and intellectualism as opposed to, let's kill the gays because I think the Taliban was right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, he says the problem with Christians trying to create a theocracy is that they end up creating a government where man rules in the name of God rather than the one where God actually rules. I don't know of a single post-New Testament theocracy in history that escapes this problem. Says the guy who probably voted for Trump, the guy who is supported by everyone who wants a theocracy. And we're now at 6086. So we're getting there. We're getting there. There's a message with that one. Someone donated $40 anonymously to protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation. Okay, come on. $20 a line. Keep going. Keep going. We're almost there. We're $66 away. So that's only, four more lines of the poem. Cyrus, you probably have it memorized. Is that enough to finish it?
Let's see here. To protect the world from devastation, to unite all peoples within our nation, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Jesse
James.
Team
Depends.
Rocket blast off at the speed of light. Surrender now, prepare to fight.
I don't think we'll finish it at $66.
That's right.
I don't think we'll finish it at $66, but it depends how you count the lines, I suppose. We still need to keep going. Anyway, yeah, I just found it very interesting that the guy who, like, I can't say for certain, I haven't seen anything from him saying that, like, yes, I voted for Trump. Yes, I approve of Trump. But from what I have seen of him, I am very confident. I would bet you $100. If you can prove to me right now that he did not vote for Trump, I will donate $100 to the charity. If you can
Mike
prove
Winger?
that to me. Find me a clip of him saying who he voted for and that it wasn't Trump.
I don't think you can prove that he didn't vote for Trump.
No,
I'm
you
fairly
can't, because
certain he
votes
just
are
did.
confidential. But, like, based on what I know of him, he voted for Trump. Guaranteed. If he voted for Trump. So the idea that he would then come out and be like, oh, yeah, no, theocracy is bad, actually. Like, okay, well, why'd you vote for the guy that was backed by the people going for theocracy? Okay, so we're at 6192. Does that take us past it? 6152. Yeah, we need a Surasuwu now.
No.
Do it. Okay, Scott D donated. Scott D donated $106 and ruined the poem so that he could get an uwu. So you owe him a fucking uwu, Cyrus.
Fine.
Oh, well.
There we go. Thank you, Cyrus.
There.
Scott D says time for the uwu. That is what Scott said. He ruined the poem so that you could give us an uwu, and it was worth it. Thank you, Scott. Okay. So yeah, Mike Winger in favor of Christian nationalism, but pretending he's not. And Neil Shenvi, no idea who this person is, so says, genuine question. For those who think power dynamics mean David raped Bathsheba, how do they explain Genesis 39? Joseph is a slave and still rejects the advances of Potiphar's wife on the grounds that it would be a wicked thing and a sin against God. I actually think that demonstrates the power imbalance and why that makes it rape quite perfectly. Joseph is given a choice. You can either be raped by Potiphar's wife or go to prison. He chose prison over being raped, but did Bathsheba have that same choice? Is the king of Israel is saying, I want to have sex with you. What is going to happen to you if you say no?
You're gonna die.
You're going to die, probably. It's going to be worse than prison. So, yeah, it's a power imbalance. It was rape. Potiphar's wife tried to rape Joseph. Joseph and Bathsheba's wife, both victims in those scenarios. Okay, we got another donation. 6232, and there we go. Someone donated $40 to say, to denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. We can still keep it going, even though Cyrus gave us the uwu. But yeah, no, power dynamics are a thing that need to be taken into consideration with sexual relationships. If a prison guard has sex with an inmate, there's a power dynamic there that makes it very hard to escape the idea that that is rape. And that is why prison guards are not allowed to have sex with inmates, because
Yep.
it's rape.
There will always be a power imbalance that is there. The only way to move past that power imbalance, the only way is to remove the power dynamic, or alternatively, to have there be so much time so as to erode. Ow, that was painful. To have there be
I'm sorry
so
that
much.
the donations are painful. Someone donated $69 to say nice, and they broke the poem again.
But there to be so much time that that concept erodes away. The problem is that second one is completely immeasurable.
Okay, sir, people in my chat are asking how much more for another uwu.
I didn't consent to this .jpeg.
Give us a number.
And if I don't give you a number,
okay, you know what? I don't know if this is even possible. I don't know what kind of audiences we have going on. Why is my calculator not clearing when I hit delete? 6301. No, that's not what I was going to do. If we get to 7,500 is my idea, because that's 3/4 of the way there. And that's another $1,200 almost. So what do you think, Cirrus? If we get another $1,200 tonight, will you give us another uwu? Just fucking say yes. It's not going to happen. We're done in like 2 minutes.
yeah, but I'm still gonna look. It's the principle.
Is there a power imbalance here?
Possibly.
Yeah, so $1,200. If we get to $7,500, Cirrus will give us another uwu. It's not going to happen. I don't believe you guys can do it. I don't think you have it in you. Because I appeal to poor people. Rich people don't watch channels saying rich people shouldn't exist. So the fact that we do what we do, given the demographic that watches us, is really quite impressive.
Yeah.
So you guys can try. I don't know how many tweets are left, but it's not many. But yeah, no, this isn't the point that he thinks he's making. Like, yes, the power imbalance was bad in between Joseph and Potiphar's wife. Like that's a demonstration of it. Like, hey, you've got a pretty cushy life. Come have sex with me. Oh, you don't want to have sex with me? Fine. Prison. You go from cushy life to prison.
That's just rape.
That is a demonstration of the power imbalance. Had he had sex with her, that would have been rape. He would have been raped by Potiphar's wife because of the power imbalance. So I don't know what point this person thinks they were making there, but they demonstrated why Bathsheba's wife was, in fact, rape. And if you're not familiar, that's when David saw Bathsheba bathing on the roof, and she was another man's wife. And so he was like, I must have her. And he had her brought to him and had sex with her, and she got pregnant. And then he murdered her husband to cover up the pregnancy.
Actually, no, I'm not. Hold on. I need to get something figured out with my chat real quick. All right. Guys, a long time ago, I put up a rule
far, far away.
a while back that if I had a guest on, or I was guest on somebody else's stream, that it was likely that I would not be getting to every redeem because there is the other person there. And the only way for me to get to every one of those redeems is to either mute the person or interrupt the person or otherwise do something that can be kind of rude. So here's what's going to happen. When you guys ask for me to do redeems while there is a guest on, I'm going to get more belligerent. I'm going to get more angry. I'm going to get more upset. I do not need to do a response to every single one when there is a guest involved. And there was a reason I originally had those rules set up in the first place. I noticed...
I don't consider myself a guest, though. You are my guest.
And that's why I said in the beginning...
Be my guest, ruin my stream.
Or when I am a guest on someone else's channel.
Fennec is asking, can't you pause redeems during guest time? It's kind of a pain in the butt to modify any redeems.
Yeah, I would have to go into Twitch and I would have to remove them from Twitch.
There's a reason I have a pinned message telling my YouTube audience not to send super chats instead of just turning off super chats. It's because these companies want you interacting with them more. They're not going to make it easy for you to turn off the interaction shit.
Stop says, you told us Rhino was okay, though, if I remember correctly. And it may be the case that I have said that. And it's not me saying that I am not going to do redeems. It is, if it takes me a second to get to redeems, this is the reason why it is taking me a second to get to redeems, because there's another person on who I am talking with at the time.
Yeah, he often does do redeems while I'm on. Probably not all of them, but...
No,
anyway,
I get to the ones I remember
wait,
too.
Cirrus isn't a bottom?
What?
Apparently, Alex thought you were a bottom.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know. Are you a bottom?
Fairly certain I've told everybody I'm a switch, and that's been the case.
Yeah, sometimes you're a bottom.
Yeah, every now and again.
Switch just seems like it'd be more fun. Just saying.
Paige says, I think I've seen some streamers be able to temporarily... Yes, I am aware. I'm telling you the mechanics involved are going into Twitch and turning them off and turning them back on every single time.
Yeah, Cirrus and I both have ADHD. Cirrus is not diagnosed. Yeah. I am.
But I'm also telling you I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no. So the reason I don't turn off super chats on my things is because I know I'd forget to turn them back on. And call me selfish, but like I need money to buy food for my kids. So like if I'm going to forget to turn them back on and that's going to result in me having less money later, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, maybe the charity does without $10 this time, but I need food next time. Yeah, Jassa says that's selfish. Yep, I'm a selfish person. I don't want to have to make use of Project Share services, which is why I raise money for them while simultaneously making it easy for me to accidentally have some money too.
Yep. So maybe the mods can do it.
I did have
I'm not certain if they can.
We did have I think it was last week we had someone super chatted $300. I did make sure that made it to the charity because that's an amount that it's like, okay, I can't make that. I can't just ignore that as an accident. But like you guys sending your 2 bits, no, I'm not donating 2 cents when you send 2 bits.
Paige just said $300. Wait, what?
Someone just did a thing. We're at 63.41.
Huh.
So Rosina K for another $20 says, Oedipus wife, she's the love of my life. There's nothing wrong. My wife is probably not my mom. God damn it, Rosina. And then for another $20 says, Oedipus mom has got it going on. She's all I want. Wait, did I say mom? I meant ... Oh, Rosina. Oedipus is a weird story.
Yeah.
But, I mean, seeing the homepage of Pornhub.com, a predictable one.
You know, I don't actually tend to get too many of the step siblings or mom stuff on Pornhub anymore.
So here's the thing. The step thing is what drove me to create an account so that I can log in and click on not the step thing so that it'll stop recommending the step thing to me. And it doesn't work because it still recommends it. I don't know. Like, I kind of get it because they make it all step, it's like tolerable to people who like, I just want to jack off to people having sex. And yeah, because it's step, they're not technically related, so it's not really incest, so fine. But then it still kind of tickles the people that have incest, so it's kind of like, that's the free market solution, where it's like, okay, we're trying to appeal to as many people as possible. So like, there's the incest people that want to see related people having sex, and there's the not incest people, but if we make it step, it can be both! And I just fucking hate it.
Yep, that's what it is. It's a way to appeal to all sides of the market.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that. It's like, we can just watch people having sex. Why do we have to know what the relationship is? I just want to watch hot people have sex.
Lenari says, the anime fans. Okay, but the anime fans aren't watching Step Brother, Step Sister
The anime fans aren't watching
hentai.
live action stuff. They're watching hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah, they're watching hentai or reading doujins.
Jassa says, I am stuck in dryer coon, Step Rhino. I get that reference. I actually get that reference.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. That's what anime is for. Yeah, no, but yeah, so Oedipus, weird story. Anyway, tweets. Dr. Simon Godek says, hard truth, the push for electric cars is about controlling how far you can travel and whether you can
What?
travel at all.
How?
Yeah,
What?
so that's my question here is like, so having your cars be reliant on a very intensive refinement process to get raw materials turned into a usable material for your car that requires a whole industrial like chain of supply and demand is not about controlling whether or not you can travel at all. However, having an electric car that I could very easily charge up with just my solar panels and no connection to the grid whatsoever is not like that is trying to control my travel. Like, to be clear, the way my house is set up right now, I could not charge my car with solar panels because like I don't have a battery system, and because of how dangerous it would be to have solar panels producing electricity in a power outage situation, like that would actually like be powering the grid, so line workers who think it's not powered could be electrocuted and die. And so like there's a whole thing that needs to be installed in order to like get a battery system, but like it's doable. I could just install a battery here and then I can charge my car with the sun without having to go to a gas station, without having to pay anyone else for it. So the idea that electric cars are about restricting your travel, whereas the one that relies on a whole system of industry is not, is just weird. Like there's one I can do myself, one I can't. I can do the electric one myself. The other one I can't. Ninjestre says, this is messed up, but it's actually Step because of laws against actors in that category portraying relatives engaging in that. So it's not about appeal. It's about laws. Okay, I should have known.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, back to electric cars. What are your thoughts?
I think that electric cars are fine. All of the problems with infrastructure and range of use basically get solved the longer that they're on the market. If he remembers, it was not always the case that it was easy to get petrol everywhere.
Shh, you're not supposed to think about that. The way it is now, it can be hard to do a road trip in certain areas. Therefore, it's controlling how far you can travel.
Right. I don't care how I'm supposed to do it. I'm gonna do it the correct way, which is looking at it from the side of infrastructure, which is the infrastructure will expand over time and solve the problem that he's making up.
But even if it doesn't, even with where it is now, how often do you go on road trips that are more than, say, 4 hours away from your house?
About once a month.
Okay, once a month. You probably do it more often than normal. But even then, like, so my car, I have an all electric car, and it can go about 4 hours on the highway without needing a recharge. Like I went to Baja Con with my electric car. I could have made it all the way there without stopping. I did stop because I'm a fucking coward apparently. But like, it's easy enough to like you find an outlet, you plug in. Go have lunch. When you're done lunch, you're at 80% now. Sure, fine, whatever. I don't see a problem with that. But like, I can go for 4 hours. 4 hours is that's. I know I'm doing that weird thing where you're doing distance in units of time, but like 4 hours, is about 400 kilometers. That's a good chunk of change. Like, yeah, no, sure, you can do 600 in a gas car. That's only 200 more. Yeah, you can fill up quicker, but like, I don't know, infrastructure wise, I just don't even see an issue.
Not to mention, like, we can literally just park somewhere, plug the car up, and go take a shit. If that's a thing that you like, because I've been trying to think of like how would my habits have to change if I had an electric vehicle, and for the most part, the only thing it really does change is those long car rides. And during those long car rides, most of the time it's going to be, oh, this truck stop has a restaurant. Looks like we're eating for an hour.
Yeah, well, and even without that into consideration, so I'm a family of 7. We have 2 vehicles because sometimes 3 kids need to be over here and 4 kids need to be over there.
Yep.
And that's actually oversimplifying it. It can get a lot worse than that. So my car is electric. The van is a hybrid. So you can just fill it up with gas. So there have been times when it's like, okay, we're going to Toronto. The car can make it to Toronto, but whether or not it makes it back will depend on whether or not we can find a parking spot with charging. And Toronto's a bit finicky for that. It's pretty solid guess that yes, you'd be able to find a parking spot with charging. Would it be DC fast charging, or would it be level 2 charging, which is a lot slower? I don't know. So there's enough unknowns there that we would probably take the van instead of the car. So that's an option. Like a lot of families like mine have 2 vehicles. So you get one electric vehicle that do your puttering around town with, and one gas vehicle that you do your long trips with. Okay, problem solved.
Yep.
Like, I don't ever have to worry about the range of my electric car, because if I'm going somewhere that's out of range, I just take the gas one.
That's hard to think about, though. Can we instead make it about a giant conspiracy to control everybody?
I see someone saying Heidi is right, so now I have to go find what Heidi said, because Heidi is always right.
Oh, there goes my neck. That felt amazing.
I don't know what Heidi said. Oh, in a zombie apocalypse, gas will be scarce. Yeah. That's the thing. In a zombie apocalypse, yes, my house right now as it stands is not set up for zombie apocalypse, but if I wanted to, I could set up battery banks and a disconnect from the main grid to a point where, like, if there was a power outage, I would still have electricity in my house, and it would be enough to charge the car. Not a lot of charge for the car, and I probably want the fridge to run before I want the car to charge. But in a zombie apocalypse, someone with solar panels, batteries, and an electric car is going to be way better off than someone in a gas car, because those tankers carrying gas aren't going to fill up the gas stations in a zombie apocalypse.
You know what's a weird thing that doesn't really get noted in a lot of zombie apocalypse movies? The fact that the power plants don't have people at them. That doesn't just mean that the power grid shuts off. For some of them, that means they explode.
Yep.
Like, we don't tend to see too many stories that go into the fact that, hey, on day 15 of the zombie apocalypse, the nuclear plant melted down.
So Fennec is asking where the extra kids come from. It's a hers, mine, and we're Brady bunching it up here. I have 3 kids. She has 2 kids. So together we have 5. And I just think of her kids as my kids now. So I have 5 kids. Technically, yes, it's only 3 biological kids, and we haven't done an ours thing. Like, I've been snipped and she's been blasted, so there's no more kids happening that way. No matter how many times she looks at me every time she sees a baby and goes like, oh, I want to make another one. Doesn't matter. Neither of us can do that anymore.
I mean, on your end, yours is reversible.
3 here and 4 there, that's 7 kids. Okay, well, that's just me not being able to count, okay? We've already... Have you not seen me struggling with the fucking calculator with the most basic of, like, figuring out what this plus $250 is all night? And you think I can count 3 and 4? The fuck is wrong with you, Fennec? Axo's asking blasted. Yeah, no, that's there's the thing they do with the they stick like a hot rod up the hoo-ha and like blast out the uterus. Ablation, that's the word. Uterine ablation. There are many medical reasons why that should happen, but it makes you unable to bear children after that. It's like one step shy of hysterectomy.
Van Briggs says there was a thing in the TV series Z Nation. The power plants exploded and had meltdowns. See, that's cool. I need to check that out, because there was a so, like, I know in the novel World War Z, the reason that never happened is the power plants, at least a lot of the nuclear ones, were actually safe. Everybody
in my YouTube chat is like freaking out about my description of like women's health care. It's like, this is just the thing that they deal with, man.
Her cooter got burned up internally.
It's like, that description made my body just recoil in pain. Yeah, what do you think happened to her body? It's the way it works. Welcome to women's healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank Turek says, don't think that the Bible is expressed literally. Much of it is not literal, and even some of the Old Testament judgment commands are said hyperbolically.
You know, you're not technically wrong, because there are plenty of biblical linguistic experts who have had to say when certain things are in the language of poetry versus in the language of the scribe versus in the language of history. I get that, but still.
Okay, Axis says, Rhino, I'm assigned female at birth. What the fuck? Yet, I get it. I'm not saying you don't understand what feminine healthcare is like. And
then get your insides blasted.
I'm just saying that, like, as a guy with a dick who's assigned male at birth, I have seen the women in my life go through the healthcare system, and I have it so easy compared to them, is my main point with what I was trying to say there. But yeah, back to Turek. So my takeaway from this, though, was so if he's willing to take some commands as hyperbole and other commands are literal, he's not clarifying what metric he's using to determine that. And since the command to like not eat shrimp is in the same place as the command to not be gay, I'm just going to say that he's interpreting this with his opinion. He thinks being gay is icky, so that's a literal one. But eating shrimp, he likes shrimp, so that one's hyperbole.
Yeah.
So this is just him being a bigot and using the Bible as a shield for his bigotry, so that he can say, I'm not a bigot, I'm just following the Bible.
That's just like your opinion, man. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to get leverage out of that quote, but...
Oh, everyone gets leverage out of that one all the time. But yeah, no, this is what, like, the best part about this, like, yes, I can see the argument that the Bible is anti-gay. I get that. It's that one you have to use a lot of interpretational nuance to get around, because there are some verses in the Old Testament that are very clear about that. Yes, the New Testament is less clear. Like the words that are translated as homosexual are more vague and ambiguous than evangelicals would have you believe. But the Old Testament is fairly clear. There is still some room for wiggling there, but not as much room as there is in the New Testament. But they're not really obsessing over gay people as much anymore. It's mostly about the trans people. And the thing about trans people is the closest the Bible even comes to acknowledging that they exist, if you first ignore the fact that there are 8 genders in the Hebrew Talmud, according to rabbinic tradition. If you ignore that, and like transgenders are some, like male at birth but turns into female later is one of the genders, and vice versa. So like there are transgenders, transgender gender identities that are accounted for in rabbinic tradition. If you ignore that, the closest the Bible comes to acknowledging the existence of trans people or saying anything about it is the verse in, I think it's Galatians, that says there is no Jew or Greek, there is no slave nor free, there is no male nor female. So the closest the Bible comes to acknowledging the existence of trans people is to say gender doesn't exist. Gender's not a thing. So be whatever fucking gender you want. So it's easier to interpret the Bible as being pro-trans than it is to interpret it as being anti-trans. So if you come at the Bible and say that it's anti-trans, that is you being a bigot. That is not you just reading the plain interpretation of the Bible.
That's you looking at the, usually they're looking at Genesis and going, and God made them male and female, and trying to run with that.
Yeah,
as
so
hard
that's
as they possibly
interesting
can.
thing about that. When if you go back to the rabbinic tradition of 8 genders, God made Adam male and female. That was one of the genders, is where you are both male and female simultaneously. And then it wasn't until God made a helper for Adam and split Adam into 2. And the word translated as rib is actually probably better translated as side. So essentially God split Adam in half. Adam was androgynous.
Yeah,
That's
androgynous.
yeah, no, that's the English. It's androgynos is the Greek pronunciation. And I know it's Hebrew word or whatever, but like it goes back to fuck. I've had too much wine to be talking about this authoritatively, but um, that is one of the genders, is containing both male and female characteristics. And so Adam was made androgynous, containing both male and female, and then God split him into male and female. And that's what that whole segment meant, at least according to rabbinic tradition. It's the Christians that come along and be like, no, that means there's only man and woman. Like, no, that's just you guys being idiots.
That Adam was an NB. What the fuck? Anime was right all along.
Mm-hmm.
Adam was sitting there going, "Hey, there's this really cool anime called Bible Black. You'll understand it eventually."
5 more genders to go. So we have
You have
with
more
male?
genders to go?
no, 5 more genders to go. So they're counting how many I've mentioned. So we've got male, we've got female, we've got assigned male at birth and turns female later. So they separate it. There's male at birth but turns female with human intervention. There's male at birth but turns female without human intervention, and same thing the other way around. Then there's androgynous, and I'm losing track of the numbers. I have a video somewhere on my main channel that actually goes through the whole thing. But yeah, the Talmud and ancient Judaism was actually much more trans-affirming than modern evangelical Christianity. And if you actually look at the texts with this cultural nuance, it's way easier to interpret them as trans-affirming than trans-denying. So the fact that all these evangelicals are being like, no, you can't be trans, you're either male or female. No, that is you being a bigot and trying to use the Bible as a shield for your bigotry with that one verse that says men shouldn't wear women's clothing and women shouldn't wear men's clothing, which
doesn't make any fucking sense, because what is men's clothing and what is women's clothing has changed throughout the fucking years.
Don't even go with that. What is a man? If a trans man is a man, then telling a trans man to wear women's clothing is against biblical law. If a trans woman is a woman, then telling a trans woman to wear men's clothing is against biblical law. That is super easy to interpret as being trans-affirming. So, like, the one verse that could be said to condemn being trans is actually the one verse. Like, it's so easy to interpret it as being trans-affirming. My point,
you have to actually try to be a bigot.
My point is that people that are anti-LGBTQ based on the Bible are not actually doing it based on the Bible. They're just being bigots. And they're trying to use the Bible as a shield so that you can't just call them bigots. But no, the Bible doesn't support that position. Sorry. Fuck off. Donate to Project Share. And that's it. We're ending with Frank Turek.
We go from Frank Turek to Darwin to Jesus. That sounds like a different sentence than what it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, he also denies evolution. So yeah, no, we didn't quite make it to 7,500, but we're at 6,341. Let's see if there are any. Oh no, we messwithemily.com is still up. Where the fuck are all my? God damn it! I think I closed that. Okay. I am going to donate.vicerhino.com so I can see who. No, Rosina's still the last one. Come on, you guys aren't going to let Rosina have the last word, are you? She monopolizes so much of these streams already.
Guys, can we psychologically manipulate you into spending more money on charity?
It's not spending money, it's giving to charity. You know,
yes,
this one of my videos is coming out is Sean McDowell talks about how Christians are more generous than atheists. So, like, prove Sean McDowell wrong. Donate now. Say, I'm an atheist. Donating against Sean McDowell.
Not the fake Swede says, where am I donating? I just sent a link to where you're donating.
If you type in donate.vicerhino.com, it will take you there, but that is a forward, and the forward is not secure, so it might give you a warning saying it's not secure first. So just make sure the little lock is there once you get there, but you can say, go to the website.
It's very cash money. Literally, it's
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is cash money. Project Share is a great organization. They do a lot of good work in the Niagara region. And that's why I do this every year.
in the meantime, I'm just sitting here messing with
Oh.
a big strand of TPU filament.
So I just got my first ever roll of TPU filament yesterday.
It's so I'm not gonna lie, if you just cut off like a a, a f- I want to say 2 feet, but I don't know what that is in your fake units. But if you just cut off like 2 feet of TPU and just mess with it, just like stretch it, press against it, just manipulate it like a fucking fidget. This is way more fun than it should have been. As just It's just a strand of rubber. That's all this is.
So, okay, fun fact. I have a bamboo printer.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm an idiot who has to make everything relevant to anything, I finally got around to actually giving it a name. And
Yeah.
I couldn't just give it a proper name. It is called Meal Bamboo.
Meal bamboo?
Do you get the reference?
No.
Oh, it's Dick Van Dyke from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, me old bamboo, you better never bother with me old bamboo. You can have me hat or me bumber shoot, but you better never bother with me old bamboo. Bam,
Nope.
bam, bam, bam. Come on, classic, man. It's a classic. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So
Not the fake Swede says donation done.
donation done. I didn't see a donation. We're at 63.41. Fuck, did I close out? Did I close that other window again? God damn it.
I reset the window and didn't see it either. Weird. Unless
Oh,
it's one of those things where
Peter M sent $50.
there we are. Okay.
For some reason, it didn't give me the. Ah, there it is. There it is.
There's the
notification.
noise.
It's on a delay. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. We're still not at 7,500, but that
Oh my
I
God.
said that wouldn't happen, so we're good. Anyway,
It's only good because you said so.
okay. The Fat Rhino has sung, so it is time to end the stream. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for your generosity. I really hope that we get to this $10,000 goal because I haven't missed 10,000 in years. So,
Well,
I
good
will be
news
I will be
is-
disappointed if we don't get there.
We have a few more streams in the month.
I don't have any more. Okay. I don't have any more guests lined up. So, the cognitive dissonance guys.
Yeah.
So several years ago, I asked them to help me with the fundraiser, and then it was derailed by a certain event, namely
Yeah.
the death of my wife. So they were going to join us to. Well, I don't know if you're doing it with me then. Yeah, you probably would have been involved at some point. But
That
they
was
were. They were
that
going-
was the one where I stepped in and actually did some of the streaming, if memory serves.
Yeah. So they were going to join me for that, but after they said yes, my wife died. So this time I asked them. I haven't asked them since. This is the first time I asked them, and they said yes. And now I don't know how much I'm allowed to share, but there have been hospitalizations in their lives now, and it ain't happening because of stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe I should stop asking you to come on my channel because people keep having to go to the hospital and stuff.
Lenari says, "Can we donate between streams?"
Yeah,
Absolutely,
for sure.
you can donate.
100%.
between
This
streams.
donation is live. I think you can even donate after the fundraiser technically ends. I'm pretty sure you can still donate after that. So yeah, always. But yeah, no, I don't have any guests lined up for the rest of the month. So hopefully I can figure something out for tomorrow.
This is the sound of TPU. If you can hear it, just sounds
Yeah.
like I'm flinging a rubber band.
I don't know. Maybe we should do some Fortnite, you and I.
I wouldn't mind doing some of that tomorrow.
Is there something we can do in Fortnite to encourage people to donate? We can work this out off stream.
Yeah, but there's definitely something there's some stuff we can do.
I have to raid someone. I don't know who I'm raiding yet. I will figure it out while the credits roll. So yeah, I'm gonna roll the credits now. As always,
I'm gonna
fuck off.